welcome to the live stream. Great to see folks here. It looks like multiple people made it on time, which I am impressed by, given that it has not been easy, I would say, to get the live streams working lately. Speaking of which, also we're half an hour earlier now. If you are tuning in later and you are confused about why you were late to the live stream, we now start at 5:30 or 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, because I have a meeting that starts at 5:45 after this. But actually, I don't have to rush off today because that meeting isn't happening this week. Machka is really excited to join the live stream. She's real excited, like super duper excited. Hello, hi. I don't know what's going on, but my overhead camera is still not working. Diagnoses need to be done. And then the other thing that's going on is, even though the server is back up this week, I am having an issue with the chat. So what I am going to do is try to restart that and do a little bit of diagnosis about why it isn't working. And let's see if I can get it up. But yes, lovely to see folks. Your chat won't be on the screen yet because I'm not entirely sure why this is happening. But happy Tuesday, says KWalk Comedy. Hello, happy Tuesday. I'm petting a cat, which is why my legs are doing so many things. If I stop petting her, you will see her on the screen, so... David says, I think I nodded off last week. Yeah, to be fair, it was a pretty dense topic. I thought that I could make it lighter than I could, but I really struggled to do that. I think that might be one of those topics where you have to script it in order to make it more interesting. So I will say Bridgerton's very trending right now, so I got some new viewers afterwards. What are you doing? Okay, well, I have a kitten that's now taking a bath on my lap, so I don't have use of one of my hands. Adam says, happy Tuesday. Hello, everyone. Planning her next ascent, no doubt. Hi. Yeah, are you gonna budget for me today? She's really fully activated. The other kitten is coming over, it looks like. Hello, hi. Someday we'll get to the budgeting. So, what are we going to do today? Well, it is almost the start of a new month. The kittens are reporting to their donut shop right now, which is very exciting, but all you can see is a butt, so... Well, maybe they'll finally make some donuts. We're off to a great start, y'all. Okay, what are we going to do budgeting? We're going to do budgeting, start of a new month. What we are going to do is try to figure out how I can pay for all of the things that I am looking at buying this summer. So, if you don't know, I am building a multifamily. Well, people that know how to build things are building a multifamily that I will at some point live in. And that is likely, we were really hoping by July we would be in there, but there is there's quite a few different things that have been delayed. But one of the things that's really crucial is that we are now have been waiting for over a year for a multifamily electrical supply box. And that isn't the kind of thing you can just order from someone else. The order has been in with the power company, which that's the only power company we are allowed to use at this location. And so yeah, we're really hoping that it shows up, but we have a temporary electricity for all of the workers, like a temporary pole put in, but we can't run an entire multifamily off of that. Like, it's like super not legal, and we can't get the occupancy permit without that. So who knows? All that is to say, we're probably going to still be living in this studio for at least half the summer. So June, July, and And then I am hoping that we will be able to move in to the triplex sometime in August or September, but it really is very dependent on the electricity. At the current rate, I don't even think we're going to have like a fully functional bathroom available, which is kind of a bummer because I really wanted to have a party on the roof for my birthday, which is in early July. But I don't think we'll be able to safely have people there because otherwise they'd have to like come out to the loft that we live in the back, and the cats are here and there's nowhere to put the cats up to use the bathroom. It would just be a problem. I'm doing great at explaining things. It's lovely to see so many people in the chat. Things are really going that. All this to say, we are now at the stage where a lot of the house expenses that are going to be coming up are not going to be things that are rolled into the mortgage. So thus far, if you watch the House Files, which is our channel about the home renovations, which you should subscribe to, the House Files PDX on YouTube. If you watch that, you know, we did an update, like over $1 million of the budget have been spent. And so it kind of is like, wait, why don't I see those in your monthly expenses? Well, that's because it's coming. All of that is like structural stuff that's coming out of the construction loan. But as I talked about a couple months ago, I now am, I bought like $1,500 worth of wallpaper this month, which is the most I've ever spent on anything other than rent and skates, I think. It's actually more than my skates cost. So wallpaper, especially like expensive wallpaper, is starting to get outside the range of what will be included in the mortgage. And so there's stuff that we need to budget for. Extra furniture. We sold a lot of our furniture because it was like mostly used free stuff or like IKEA stuff that we could get again. And the cost of storing it for now what will be over a year was like not worth it. We can just get it off Facebook Marketplace again. And then there's just more rooms to furnish. So our total space is like 1,800 square feet. And so which is a lot. It's so much bigger than like this current place that we're living in is, I think, 650 square feet. And then our previous place was a 2-bedroom and it was 750 square feet. And so, yeah, it's really just a lot more. And then they're furnishing the rentals is not going to be part of my own budget. But I also have stuff that I just want to get that you want to get when you're like setting up a house. Then additionally, I am looking at getting a bike trailer this summer. Hello. Hi. She's back. She's back, y'all. Watch the House Files, y'all. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why my chat overlay is not working. I hope it's just not that the cord is disconnected. Something is really up with my ATEM right now. And my in-house tech support is not in the house at the moment. So I guess chat will not work for a second week in a row, which I'm a little annoyed about. I can't believe I didn't realize this. The test messages are still working. So that's annoying. Oh, it's working now. Look at this. When is a new episode dropping? Yay! Okay, so chat's back. When is a new episode dropping? We really, really need to film one again soon. I'm just real stressed right now for other reasons, work reasons, and so we haven't had a lot of time that. What is a Carla level trailer? So I had wanted to get a bamboo trailer, which a acquaintance of mine used to make these. They're these amazing, super light, can haul like 500 plus pounds bamboo, super lightweight trailers, real strong. I've wanted to get one of those, but unfortunately that person isn't making them anymore. And no one else knows how to make them the way that he made them. So in next step down, I might want to get a Blue Sky trailer or a Bikes at Work trailer. Blue Sky isn't being made anymore, but I have a friend that is selling one that needs some like work done on it. If I get that, then she's going to give it to me for not very much because it's like got some rust on it. but then I can do some work on it, swap out the tires, things like that. And so it won't cost that much. If I get a new Bikes at Work trailer, that is very pricey. It's like almost $1,400. And the reason I want to get it, one, we're finally going to have like a spot where I can store it. We're going to have a shed. And two, yeah, if you've got like a good solid cargo trailer, you can really get a lot of stuff off Facebook Marketplace, which is going to lower other expenses. Like I have lots of like community reasons why it would be helpful, like hauling like tons of books when I like go get them around when I bring them to community stuff. And obviously for Breakfast on the Bridges, a thing I've been volunteering for 16, 17 years now. But I do have a cargo bike. It's just that the cargo bike is not the best for furniture because it's a long tail bike. And what would really help would be having a flatbed bike trailer that could haul at least, I want to say 300 pounds. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to get another cargo bike. My current cargo bike, I was looking at selling it, but pretty much it's just not, it's not electric. And because it's not electric, it has almost no resale value as a cargo bike anymore. And I do have a lot of fondness for it. I commuted 20 miles a day on that thing for 3 years. I've put in a lot of miles. I've hauled a lot of weird stuff on that cargo bike. I built it entirely myself up from scrap parts. I mean, I got help from friends, but like I built it up. I didn't take it to a shop. And it was entirely built out of like bike scrap heap parts. So like literally the frame I got out of my friend's front yard. He was like, hey, if you want to build up an extra cycle, you could do this. So all of this to say, I'm very nostalgic for it, and my value and utility for it, even though I don't use it terribly often, is still higher than the resale market for it. Nobody buys non-electric cargo bikes anymore, it turns out. Oh yes, fancy version Bikes at Work type level. Yes, absolutely. I could buy like a little burly trailer that hauls like 100 pounds tomorrow. That's what I often used to use for work. But since I have the extra cycle, that isn't really helpful for me. I really need something that is rated for about 300 pounds at a minimum. And really what I want is the ability to haul bulky stuff, because like even an armchair on my extra cycle is like kind of hard. You have to like flip it over and try to haul it, which I've done before. And I have a lot of friends whose trailers I can like borrow and carry. What is happening? There is something going on with construction that involves things being flung out of windows right now. All of this to say, I think it's finally time to do it with a bike trailer. So I am looking into it. I blew my budget on renovations and keyboards. Well, renovations is roughly what 1/2 of my budget is for. And I forgot to mention the very last expensive thing. Most of this is not coming out of my personal budget. However, I am, this week, that is part of the reason I'm stressed right now, is that I am finally reordering the 3rd printing of A Cat's Guide to Money. So the first 2 printings I crowdfunded on Kickstarter. I don't feel comfortable crowdfunding for the same book a 3rd time. And frankly, I have the capital to be able to do it. Like the first one, I would not have the capital and I needed to demonstrate interest. But my distributor is doing a big order and I'm getting in on it, and I'm paying about half the price that I was previously. They've had really good quality. A lot of my friends and acquaintances use the same printer. And my distributor and we all kind of know how many books I can sell. And then the really big and important thing to me is that I finally will start be able to give books. It's been almost a year since I've been able to give books away when I go teach my workshops at shelters and with foster youth. And it's always been very important to me, like giving them something tangible that they can take away instead of just overloading them with information is very valuable. And stickers are not as good as the book. So that being said, I have been planning on this for a while. I really should have done it a year ago, but I just had too much going on. I didn't know where was I going to store an entire pallet of books. I've worked most of that out, although there will be probably a lot of books stored in the new house. and then my distributor is going to take some of them. And then there is also like a friend's business that is going to let me like rent maybe some space from there. It's being used as storage for like another cat-based store. All of this to say, I'm going to have to spend about $5,000 on books. And most of that money is just coming straight out of the business. And I've kind of saved for it. I will more than make that money back, but it might not make it all back this year. I will give the business a loan because right now, Oh My Dollar makes like, it makes a profit, but it makes like about $600 a month. Once I start selling books, it's going to make more than that. But I have more money in my own personal reserves than I do in the business reserves right now because most of my income comes from my day job. So I'm going to give my business like a loan from owner of like maybe $2,000 so that I can just make sure I still have enough extra in my account. So it's coming. I've been wanting to get a couple for my adult kids. Will they be available to purchase? Yes, they will. There's no reason to not get them. Yeah, they'll be out in August. I'm trying to get them ready just in time for back to school season, going into end of year and New Year's, which are like the high times. And my distributor is very excited to get them because they sell really well in bookstores around, bookstores and gift shops around the holiday season. So that is why we're doing them. I mean, it would have been really great to have them for June for graduation season, but that's fine. When it comes to budgeting, you have to be persistent. The kittens are really doing a lot. Great. I'm so glad you all have giveaway books again. Yes, me too. I do give them ebooks, but a lot of the, especially like the day centers I work at, the youth really do not have like terribly consistent computer access. So if they go to Portland Public Schools or David Douglas, they do, which is another district here in kind of the suburbs of Portland, they do get access to a laptop, but like quite a lot of the youth are between the ages of 18 and 25 and are maybe not in high school anymore, or they've left and they often only have a smartphone. And ebooks are kind of a pain in the butt on a smartphone, and they're not going to like sit there and read an ebook at the library. All of this to say, the books are great. They aren't wonderful for the folks that are moving around a lot. So like when I teach foster youth, sometimes the foster youth are still being shuttled around. Like, I mean, I talked to one of the kids that I worked with last year during tax season, had moved between 26 group homes in a year. And that is, I mean, you just can't between group homes and foster parents and stuff like that. And it's just really, the more stuff you have to carry between them, the more annoying it is. But they were still stoked to get a cat book. And they were like, at some point, I'll probably lose this, but I hope that someone else in the group home will pick it up in that case. So thanks for giving me ideas. Great. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm really excited to get this out again. And yeah, just very, very excited about it. Okay, should we do the budgeting? It's been a while. Oh, I forgot to say, I have this donut today. It is an elote donut. I'm sorry, my overhead camera is not working, so it's going to take a little more work. So it's elote inside. It's got corn inside, and then it's got some corn and cilantro on here. I will heat it up because in my experience, the savory donuts need to be heated up. So before we do the donut, I'll go heat that up. All right. Should we dive into the budgeting, y'all? Here we go. Here is Eric said Lily fixed the chat. I mean, I appreciate that you think that I fixed it. I really just poked it at things and restarted them again enough times. Okay, so this is my YNAB, or You Need a Budget. This is the budgeting software I've been using since 2014 or 15, and I've used it through many iterations of YNAB. So I still really love it. It is fairly expensive now. I've talked about it on some of the budgeting app like review live streams that we've done. It is, I think, like almost $100 a year now, which is pretty pricey. However, it's ad-free. They don't sell your data, and I get way more value out of it than $100 a year, so I will continue to pay for it. Also, I believe if you go down to, if you're curious in doing it, if you go down to the description, you can click my referral link, and that'll get you more than the standard free package. I think it gives you a 40-day free trial, and I get like $5 if you do sign up for it. I do that mainly just because I like to keep track of how many people I moved to YNAB. Okay, so where did this money come from? Almost all of this came from my paycheck, which already kind of landed for the month. The way that I do things in YNAB is that I still kind of use the old YNAB method of being one month ahead, and I pull things from my cash buffer. So I usually try to keep it around $4,000, which represents like 2.5 months of expenses for me. So, but I keep it like 1 month ahead. So what I've done is I've taken $210 out next month. Now that this month's paycheck has come in, I will zero that out, and I've gotten back up to that. And then I will put $178.73 in there just so that I can zero it out to $4,000. Now, there's some pretty handy things we can do. So we're filling this out for June. May is almost done, and I've almost expensed it. The travel fund is for a trip in August that I am taking, and a trip I am taking next March, which is the Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia one. We will fill those up at the end because I think we have other more pressing things that need to be filled up. Okay, so we've got groceries, $175. I think $175 is going to be fine for next month. It's a bit lower than it's been with regular inflation these days, but my CSA starts next week. And once the CSA starts, I won't have to buy vegetables at the grocery store. And that's been part of my expenses because just for ease of my own schedule, I've been buying a lot of my vegetables at Trader Joe's, which isn't really the most efficient way to buy things. There's like no sales at Trader Joe's. Everything is priced the same. A lot of stuff is in plastic packaging. And I mostly eat vegetables, so it doesn't make the most sense. They also just like don't have certain things. The kittens are playing with a pizza toy. It's very cute. Okay. As you can see, I normally aim to have like $15 to $20 a month in the coffee tea for home. And the category is built up. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. How much do I need to have on my CSA share? So I pay for it in January 2025, and I need to have 325, and I have 142. So I am on track to meet the goal on the side. So we can skip that. Okay. Gifts, I've got 85 in there. That's probably fine for now. Okay. Rent, mortgage, we've talked about this before, but if you're like, why is your rent so cheap? It's because we are sharing a studio right now that Aaron owns, and I am paying Aaron for like my half of the fair market rate for it. That is going to go up when we move into the triplex because I'm going to be paying my portion of the mortgage. But the good news is that having that extra money there, saving in housing, means that I can invest into some of the stuff that I need to invest in. Okay, water, 39. This may be about to go up. We're actually like in a fight right now with the water company about, they sent us this like absolutely massive bill, and they had assessed the size of our property at double the actual size of the lot. And were charging us a huge amount. So Aaron has been playing phone tag, and as you can see, we only actually get billed for that like every 3 months, but that's why I have so much money built up in that category where I've got like $319 built up in that category. But it's supposed to average 39 a month, but I'm a little worried it's going to go up. Okay, trash. This is another thing where it only gets charged every couple months, but it's $53.45. That's actually going to go down once we have more tenants because based on the size of the building, we have to pay for a certain amount of trash, even though it's like way more trash than 2 people need. Okay. So electricity is, I honestly, I need to put 100 in electricity, I think. It's not hot yet, but it's supposed to be a hot summer, and our electricity bill goes up so freaking much. And these are all 2 people splitting a studio, so, and 2 kittens. Okay, household goods. So this is the thing where it comes down to wants. I really want to get a steam cleaner. Like a lot. I want to get 2 different steam cleaners. I've mentioned this on a previous live stream. I want to get a Bissell Steam Shot that's like the hard steam cleaner. And then I also kind of want to get like a little green machine that's like a mini carpet cleaner and could also clean upholstery, but they're very unreasonably silly. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the Wish Farm. So we're going to add the Wish Farm steam cleaner. And we'll come back to that. But this is, I would like it by, make a goal. I want to set aside. I also can't tell if those are the kinds of things that you should absolutely buy secondhand because people like buy them and then never use them. Or if it's one of those things where it's like better to buy it with the warranty new. I mean, generally I prefer to buy used, but I feel like with appliances that might be one of those things. Actually, if I do want it, I want it sooner than that. I want it by like August 31st, by end of the summer. So, okay, let's put $20 in there and then we'll come back to it. Okay, I don't have any renter's insurance right now because I'm not technically a renter. It looks like we're good on air filters and I think household goods are okay. Okay. Figure skating. Ice time. There's enough in this category. 75. Coaching. There we go. Okay. And then extra food and drink. It is Pedalpalooza. So I need to weigh up this restaurant category. I think I'll put 60 in there. That's very generous for me for average month, but I spent like almost 50 this month. And look how much I have in that coffee category though. So I could always move things around if I want. And the fancy tea, I'm soon to be overdue to get my like fancy sleepy tea. Okay. And then health. My health insurance is it's pre-tax and paid through by work. It's also only like $20 a month, which is really nice. I have a Kaiser plan, so I just need to pay for the copays, and my largest medication copay is covered by copay assistance. So it's only for my other medications that aren't absurdly expensive. And then my yoga membership, which my yoga membership has been averaging about $8 a class, which I feel like is fairly reasonable. I just realized that there is a kitten behind me. That's Miss Kugel, not Miss Machka. She's just monitoring. If I do this here, oh, there's no way to really get the kitten in there. That's kind of a bummer. All right, I'm going to see if there's any chat and we'll leave Kugel up there. Can you explain a bit how you use the Wish Farm? So the Wish Farm is like a concept that popped up from within the YNAB community as far as I understand. And I don't think there's like an official way to use it, but I'll tell you the way I use it. I use it for things that I want, but that I am not going to necessarily prioritize. Like these are not key elements, but it helps me track like how I'm saving towards it. So it's kind of like a sinking fund for a fun thing. You know, you can see that I've had some abandoned ones here where I was saving for synchro, and then a couple months ago I decided to pull my synchro money out. Oh, sorry. I had the cat there. So I decided to pull my synchro money out as well as my Guinness World Record trip money that I had been saving, because I decided to prioritize the house decor instead, because I needed to buy this very expensive wallpaper. So that's how I use it. It's been very helpful for saving up for things that are like not high priorities, because it just kind of keeps them top of mind. If you've got some extra money in the budget, then you can kind of feel like there's some fluff. So I like, one thing that was like an old wish farm for me was that I really wanted to pay for flexibility physical therapy, so someone to stretch me out in order to reach my splits. There was sort of a long running debate about whether or not that was healthcare or not, but it wasn't through my insurance, and it was just for the vanity goal of splits. But it was really nice to have someone stretch me out. So, and that was a thing that like I had there for a long time. And then finally, when there was a little extra money, I threw it in there. And then it kind of gave me guilt-free permission to spend on it. But I think a lot of people use it in different ways. They've left the donut shop now. I bought an iron on eBay once. The person sent it out with water still in it. To be fair, I really struggled to figure out how to get water in and out of my iron. Like, I had to Google at one point, because I did not buy the iron I'm currently using. I don't know where it came from. I think an old roommate. And who was like moving out of the state. And so they just like gave me their old iron. And I really struggled. I had to like Google it to try to figure out how to put water in it, because I was used to one that had like a very obvious cap. All of this to say, I don't know if I could get water out of my iron to ship it somewhere. But it does sound like it would be a mess. Yeah, Kugel's kind of, she's not a chunky girl, but she's got hips. Machka is currently making the cat face where she's sniffing something using her mouth, but she's sniffing a metal stool. What? Now she's stalking me as though I am something she's never seen before. Ablejack is on a boat. I'm not sure I would believe anyone else, but I believe you, Ablejack. Good to see you here. Does that mean you have a whole bunch of hidden old Wish Farm items, or do you rename and reuse? I'll often just move them out of Wish Farm to whatever category. So, here was an example where sometimes things get renamed. Like in 2020, I was saving cash for the possibility of moving to the UK and to go to grad school and pay for grad school in cash. And that savings just got renamed as these line items. And the reason I did that was just because, obviously I wasn't going to use that anymore. So I just repurposed those savings in sort of these categories. By the way, this is maybe not like a super functional way to do this, but because I have so much money in sinking categories, I like to know what is explicitly not set aside for future purchases, like these things. So I guess that's a good example of like, for a long time, I was thinking of grad school as a future purchase that I was going to be spending that money on. So I didn't consider it savings. But then once I realized I wasn't going to be using it for savings, I just called it savings, or I wasn't going to be using it for grad school. I just call it savings. This was another good example, was payback healthcare subsidy. I could probably just archive this category, but I don't like the way that the hidden categories thing, look how many like old hidden categories I have on here. Because I'll use like for trips and stuff like that. Yeah, immigration costs, like I don't need to see that anymore, but I was keeping track of like all the different immigration costs. And these are just, I don't like the way it treats hidden categories, because when you do historical graphs, you like can't see them. They're just called hidden. So I often leave things in here like a lot longer than I need, because I like the category. Okay. We still have $3,206. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a category that's got some chunky money in it that I can transfer, essentially can reuse as where I'm going to transfer. So I think savings 2023 is where I'm going to transfer the money. These are all on budget categories because this is not how you're supposed to do it, but my high yield savings account is an on budget category, and there's historical reasons for that. We're going to move past it. Anyway, it's not really the best thing. So a lot of what's in my high yield savings account is represented in these categories versus being off budget like my investments are. So, but I have enough in my checking that this is where the money is going to come out from. And I know what this amount is, and I am eventually going to pay myself back for the loan to the business. But I think I've decided that it's going to come out of that category. So we don't actually have to do anything in YNAB to move it around right now, until the moment that I do the bank transfer. Now, June, it looks like let's see if there's any underfunded categories right now. Steam cleaner. Oh, kittens. How much money is in the kittens categories? By the way, oh, I need to actually set these up so there's like, I need to create auto assign average spent for cat food. Average spent. And I'll just put, they're going to have to go to the vet eventually, so. Okay. It's a little bit of sinking funds. There we go. The cats eat so much, y'all. I'm actually going to up this from the average spent because they are just such little hungry monsters. Okay. Okay, that's all my underfunded. Anything I'm severely missing? I don't think so. Okay, now we're going to do the pay myself first. So we're going to try to do $750 for my savings for June 2023. That's $750 in cash. I also save a little over $2,000 in my retirement. And then about $60 a month goes to my business IRA, sometimes $100. It depends. It's like a percentage of my gross. I don't pay myself. I have not paid myself out of Oh My Dollar at all this year because I've been saving every piece of income that I get for buying books, and paying expenses. Because what I get from Patreon, which is about $380 a month, which I'm so grateful to. Shout out to the Personal Finance Society. I really appreciate you all. Everything I get from Patreon pretty much just goes towards the core expenses of the business because our hosting is so expensive and all of the costs of like making sure that I can get workshops done and everything, plus like all the other recurring expenses. So I pretty much don't take any cut of that Patreon, and it just goes towards business expenses. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fill this out in July. This is where we start to get into the wish farm sort of stuff. But first, what we're going to do is we are going to auto assign. So groceries, underfunded. There we go. And kittens. Underfunded. Average spent. Oh, I just realized what I forgot to do last month. One of the other very expensive things I have to do, I am getting new wheels built, which it took forever to find someone that could fit me in to get the wheels built. Wheels are very expensive. These wheels are 11 years old. I really need them. They're like, I'm at risk of like cratering and having my wheel, like my steel wheel, break on me because they're so busted. Anyway, I'm going to budget $400 for those. I think it's going to cost me maybe a little less, but if it costs me a little more, I'll just take some money out of my stuff I didn't budget for category, which is kind of like my little like complete buffer category. Yeah, so I've got 113 there, which will kind of be my little extra spicy one. Okay. Okay. 15.49. That's Netflix, which I'm still paying for. I do use it a lot, so I don't know. Is it the worst thing? I'm still on a clothing no buy in June, but in July I won't be, and it'll be my birthday. And I do think I need like $50 in this category. I always just like to put 10 in my spending money category. I don't end up using it a lot. I have plenty in the makeup category. I'm also on a making makeup no buy. Average spent. I don't have any plans for shoes. Okay. And my birthday's in July, and so I'm going to put an extra 45 in there. That's for like shampoo and stuff like that. I probably won't need it for another 6 months. And I only have 906 left, y'all. So now it is time to take money out of the buffer, but I'm actually doing pretty well. Remember, this is 2 months in the future, so. All right. So this 75. Fees, memberships. So I am going to July 1 is when the United States Figure Skating Association annual memberships are due, and there's no prorating. So I've been refusing to join, but I do actually need to join next year. So in July I will be joining, but I believe it will only be like about how much is left in that category because I planned on doing it last year. So I'll add an extra $20 in there just in case. Don't plan any costumes. I have plenty in the coaching category. I guess I can put like 35 more. I have enough money for skate sharpening. I probably won't be dealing with it until then. And yeah, that's fairly reasonable. Actually, I'm probably going to go to the big rink in July. Okay. Humans feed the cats. Cats create fun and chaos. Yeah, I do think they're probably angling to get fed because it is. Do you guys hear the little kitten pitter patters, by the way? I really hope you can, because they're currently having a massive chase game. I'm sad we don't have like more kitten cams installed. I would say that's the earnings from their donut shop, but based on the evidence, yeah, I don't think that they're doing very well donut shop wise. Although if you send a super chat, you'll get a donut from the donut shop. Category, shit I don't need. Love it. Yeah, I don't actually use that one terribly often, but it tends to be for like, I don't do a ton of impulse purchases, as you can probably tell. But I did do a little bit of like boredom spending during the pandemic. I was saving a lot of money during the pandemic, and so yeah. Oh, also July is Pedalpalooza still, and I should probably put like $40 in my bike fund category. Okay. Let's see. Optometry won't be till end of the year. Medical, put another 25 in there. I have like I think I have a copay that I'll need. I think I've hit my deductible for the dentist this year, so unless anything weird happens. And then I will probably need to buy skincare late summer, but I'm doing okay for now. And that's about how much I usually end up spending. And then last but not least, I have a monthly yoga membership that I am still paying for and I am still feeling okay about. So there we go. Now, let's do it. Let's wish farm this shit up. Also, I have 2 wish farms. Why is that? I don't know. Okay. Newbold ordered a Mutual Fund muffin. Thank you for the super chat, Newbold 1. The kittens are currently not in front of the donut shop, so... But it's passive income for them, you know? Okay. Aaron was saying cat food price was becoming a bigger part of expenses too. Yeah, these kittens eat so much. And I mean, it's double the kitten, but also like, because we had 1 cat before and now we have 2 cats. But also, I didn't realize this, but kittens eat like double what an adult cat eats. So I do think it's going to calm down a little bit once they hit 1 year old, which is in a couple months, and they're like no longer little baby kittens. Okay. Let's put some stuff in the wish farm, y'all. Things I want. House decor. So, bike trailer. I made a list of things I don't need but kind of want. Okay. Books, which that's going to come out of the business. Sconces. I want some fancy freaking sconces. But they're back ordered for quite a while. So the theme of my office, which I probably mentioned before, is Woodland Regency. And I think it's going to be dope. But I want these like Luna Month sconces. And we do have to have some sort of lighting in there. I'm going to keep looking on like Facebook Marketplace and eBay and probably go to the hardware store and try to find something cheaper because I don't really want to get the ones from Anthropologie because they're so expensive. But honestly, they fit the theme so perfectly. So those, if I did get them, would be like $250 for 2 sconces, which is a little ridiculous. Lighting is expensive though. Okay, the bike trailer, if I did want to create a target, I would want to set aside a... I think it would be about 300 because I would theoretically be splitting it. And I would want to buy it by August, which is kind of a lot, y'all. Okay. The steam cleaner is so silly, and I should probably not get it, but I do also need a chandelier for my office, and why do I struggle to spell chandelier so much? Still have not learned it. But luckily, it looks like most of the chandeliers that I want are like 50-ish. So and I don't think we'll even have electricity by August 1st, so there we go. Oh, do you want to see the dream sconces? Yeah, if I can get them to pull up. Luna Moth sconce Anthropologie. They're very cute for my little Woodland Regency theme, but they're $128. Anthropologie does have a lot of sales, but these have not been recently. They were on sale like a couple months ago, and I didn't buy them because I was like, no, I'm going to find something better. Anyway, I feel like this is going to work really well for the Woodland Regency theme, and I have 2 spots for sconces in my office. But we'll see. I've seen some other things that are not $128. Because these are back ordered right now and are not available until I think if we go to checkout it'll show you when they're not available till. But they're like yeah, they're not available for till like August or something like, yeah, August 22nd. So because of that, like you can't use any of the discounts on them right now. And I don't know, I just really don't want to buy new stuff whenever I can avoid it. So we'll see if I can uh find something better. The kittens are hunting each other right now. That's the only thing to say that they are doing. Okay, people like the sconce. Well, thanks for your encouragement here. Okay. What other Wish Farm stuff do I have? I have a bike trailer. The USFSA membership is like already in there. I've already budgeted for it. Okay, we are gonna need some various furniture. So I am gonna be trying to buy as much of this used as possible because furniture is just one of those things that like depreciates so quickly. But we sold our bed before we moved because the like it was just big and clunky and it wasn't worth storing. And we didn't like it that much. It was like an IKEA bed. So we need to buy a bed. We still have the mattress, but we need to buy a bed. We need to buy a like couch for the karaoke room / workout room. I'm not sure if the ballet bar, because it's installed on the wall, so I have like a mirror and a ballet bar that's installed in our like guest / karaoke / my workout room. And I think I may have to buy the ballet bar, which is like a couple $100. Um, I think it's like gonna be like 100-ish because it's just like one ballet bar, but then you need to have the really good brackets. The mirror, it looks like, is gonna be part of that because it's just gonna be custom cut glass from the glass guy when other things get cut. The cushions. So we have built-in banquet seating, and I have a window seat in my office. They're both amazing. The wood finish is like already done in there, but they need custom cushions, and those are kind of expensive. I can sew them, but it has been pointed out to me that maybe it's not the best use of my time to sew some cushions. They're not crazy expensive, but like the backing board for the ones that we want in the kitchen is very specific and maybe a little more designy, and I think that's where it's going to get expensive. We looked into like a custom cushion manufacturer and they charged like $65 just to like give you an estimate, which I was like, I don't know about that. So, I think that the cushions, the couch, this couch will be like in here. All of the furniture for the rentals is like under the company, the LLC that like is gonna be renting them out. The probably like curtains. I think our last apartment that I like didn't even own, I think total I spent like maybe $850 over like a year on like various things like the cabinets that you need that like fit in the new space and stuff like that. I also want a new desk for my office that like fits the theme a little better than this like white desk. I want to do a live edge desk, but that is office furniture, so it's going to be able to come out of my office budget. So that's oh my dollars treat to me because it is tax deductible as business furniture. Also, the train themed bathroom. There's a bunch of train themed stuff we're doing that's actually just part of like the hard finishes. Like we're doing stuff that just looks very kind of steampunk trainy, lots of stuff like that. However, my dream for that room, which will not happen the week we move in, just to be clear, but my dream for that tiny bathroom that's all train themed is that up on the ceiling I will have a suspended Z model, which is like the super tiny model trains, little suspended from the ceiling little train that like goes around. That I am like considering starting to acquire a couple of the Z trains I want. I really want a Z model of the Hello Kitty Shinkansen in Japan, and they're not that expensive. They're like $30 for a shorty one. But the tracks will probably be a little pricey because they're like ceiling suspended, but it is only Z model, so it's not very big. That's another thing. I think altogether, I'm gonna budget $1,500 on like furniture and home accessories. Let's actually rename this to like not just furniture. And it's a lot of money. It's so much money. But in the end, it is like that will be like over the course of the year. Okay, also, I didn't need to budget it all right now. I'm going to create a target for furniture and create a target. The goal is, sorry, there we go. Sorry, I didn't have that on the screen. So I'm going to make a custom goal for 50. I feel like I should do more than 1,500, but it is split two ways. A lot of the things, like the model trains, I'll probably buy on my own. And like the ballet bar is just for me. I don't think Erin's going to use it. So like I would pay for that. But then things like our bed and yeah, I mean, I will be trying to get used for almost anything. If I was getting new, I would probably have to triple this amount. Let's go for 1,700. I want to set aside 1,700, and frankly, okay. So 340 this month to reach that goal. Don't worry about the big red on the top, because what we're going to do is we're going to assign money to this category, and then we're going to cover that overspending from something else. Okay. Let's just call this home stuff. Home accessories and furniture. Okay. Fuzz Bubble says train bathroom. I love it. What's the Japanese word you say after Hello Kitty? Is it train car? Shinkansen is the high-speed rail in Japan. So I can show you what the Hello Kitty. Also, please do not in any way use me as the example for how to pronounce Japanese words. So here's the Hello Kitty train. In the inside, it's all Hello Kitty themed. There's so many cute things. I'm not even that much of a Hello Kitty fan, but this is like, it's just so cool. So you can get a Hello Kitty Shinkansen Z scale model. So I'm hoping to get one of these used. This is a shorty, which is like pretty affordable. It's usually like $30 for one of these, or you can get for more, you can get like an 8-car full model one. I am not currently a model railway person, and that's just because I've moved around too much to be. I am absolutely the kind of person that could go whole hog into being a model railroad person. And at some point when my life slows down with volunteer commitments, I will be going to start volunteering at the model train club in Portland, which actually like has its own facility and does like a model train show. And it's just like, it's like the largest one in the US. It's like quite amazing. Anyway, they tried to recruit me into doing it because I came dressed in a train themed outfit last time I was there. Also, I will say not a lot of feminine people that are in the model train club. So I think they were just very excited. But anyway, here is the Hello Kitty train. There's also Tama train, but I haven't been able to find a model of this one. So in Japan, there is this sleepy town where the station master is a cat. And that the train that they have is entirely designed after that cat. And I really want a little model train of this. It's so cute. But I haven't been able to find a model train, so I feel like I'd have to just get that model of Shinkansen and then paint it to look like the train, which would be very respected, I feel like, by model railroad people. Anyway, here's Tama, the original station master. He's since passed on, but he's been, he has a little shrine to him, and his job has been taken over And the new master, the new trade master cat at the station, like, you know, does his little rituals for his ancestor, who has now been made into a goddess. So yes, anyway, that is Tama the station master. Thanks, not for learning Japanese, just making sure I understood from context clues. Well, good. Yeah, I'm just saying, please don't rely on me for any pronunciation. But yes, that is the train-themed bathroom. I know. Well, there's also the regular, like, this is my other favorite train of the Shinkansens. I really love this one, and I have a lot of things themed to this. I also have, like, also look, please look at this little pen case that looks like the inside of the train on the inside. So this is one of the railway lines, and this is like all of the Japanese high-speed rails have their own like color version for all the JR railways, and so there's like a color scheme and they all look the same. It's very good. Tama was a girl. Meow Sajini. I said she was a girl, didn't I? That's why she's a goddess now. Okay. I have assigned $272 more than I have. So where are we taking it out of? We are taking it out of here. There we go. Oh. I owe one. There we go. So this came out of my cash buffer, but like I said, this is July. So I try to keep this cash buffer at a budget of $4,000. But that buffer I use it 2 months out. So it's essentially like a 2-month buffer. So I've only taken $772 out of it. So then when I get paid at the end of June, I will just go do exactly what I've done this time, which is refill it to get it to $4,000. Oh my God. What did I just do? There we go. I do appreciate that you can now Control Z in here. Although it didn't work on mobile. Can you all hear what's happening here? It's really very wild. Should we eat a donut? We still haven't eaten the donut. Does anybody want to see me move money around for the books budget? Are they interested in the Oh My Dollar budget? It's very boring. It's just a lot of business expenses. I'm happy to show it off if you want. You can just be appalled at how much I pay for our mail service and for Shopify. If you want. You can just feel that way because I feel that way in my soul. But yeah, there we go. I think that's it. We're pretty well covered. The only thing I didn't fill up was the travel fund. I do think the travel fund, the goal was to have like $1,500 in it by August. So when I get paid in June, I'll probably like pump a little bit more money in there. I don't actually think I'm going to need $1,500 in the travel fund. This is a bit what I'm worried about, but I kind of want to see how things shake out with buying furniture and stuff like that, because I think that might be a bit of a more pressing situation as far as funding. So there we go. I think that's all the very expensive stuff that I want to buy. And I am very fortunate that I have a lot of sinking fund categories, and I have a lot of categories with like excessive money available. So if anything gets tough and I need to move it around, if we end up buying a extremely expensive couch or something much worse and much more dire happens, then I obviously have a lot of categories to pull from for now. So, but there we go. I am intrigued by this app now that I've seen this app in action. Yeah, I don't know if this would really work for your brain. Just knowing what I know about your brain. So for some people really like it. It is really granular. So if you get really stressed out by money stuff, it can work one of two ways. Either one, it feels completely overwhelming because it is overwhelming. It's really a lot. And obviously I've accumulated a lot of categories because I've been using it for like a decade. Um, yeah, 9 years of using this. I've just accumulated a lot of categories, a lot of life changes, and I kind of don't get rid of stuff. So that's part of it. Um, but some people, it can make them more stressed out about money because it just like it feels like they have to learn this entirely new tool. And then for other people, it can feel very fun because makes them feel very in control. And for a lot of people that are very anxious about money, this can really calm them down because it is so granular. And I'm definitely in the like second category where it makes me feel better because I'm tracking everything. Okay. I Thank goodness I haven't missed the donut. Well, it's lovely to see you, Geograph Concept. Okay, I need to go heat up the donut. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna try to get the cats to do something in front of the donut shop for you all. Come on. Geograph Concept says, I have admittedly abandoned YNAB because it kept yelling at me and gone to a physical book, which I immediately lost. You win some and you lose some. Yeah, we used to have the Oh My Dollar little cute budget pocket planners, and they were really, really cute. A lot of people really like that. Um, the I thought you were trying Monarch Money. Did you have any luck with Monarch Money, Geograph Concept? If you're gonna have a fight, why can't you have a fight on camera? I don't have my donut heater upper available today, so I had to heat it up myself. Okay, if you didn't know, this is Talking Dough and Eating Donuts, where we talk about finance and we eat a donut. Okay, today's donut is elote, and it has corn on the inside, and it's mixed with cilantro. So I guess it's a good thing that I'm eating this. I'm eating this while Erin is gone because Erin does not like cilantro. And then this is vegan Brazil nut Parmesan. So let's see how this goes. Also, the overhead camera is not working. The reason I heat it up is it's obviously savory. So, I will say it is very hard to lift up. Look at that. That's truly beautiful. It's just like delicious corn on the inside. I'm really enjoying this, but structurally, I feel like the integrity of eating it as a donut, especially once you warmed it up, because it's like the elote is like very squishy. Geograph Concept says, I have no recollection of Monarch Money. Grad school ate my brain and I'm merely picking up the pieces. That's fair. What is a nut loaf? Is this another thing where it's just like a British name for something else in the US? But I am basically using it at this point like a fancy version of Mint Money, rest in peace, and not using any of its budgeting features. In YNAB, where you're just like auto tracking it. I seem to recall you liked Monarch, and it is cheaper. Although YNAB's free if you're a student. That was the one that gives you little badges. I don't think I'm misremembering. Anyway, I think it's a little less overwhelming than YNAB Monarch, but it's very similar to Mint in a lot of ways. There's just so much corn in this. Okay. I don't taste the cilantro at all, just to be clear. I would call this... I mean, it's a 4 out of 5 on the taste side, but the structural integrity as a donut is not great. And maybe if I hadn't heated it up, it would work a little better. Okay. I still don't have my overhead camera for inexplicable reasons because it's on. We don't know what's up with it. So I will fill in my little donut log right here. I've already taken a picture. It's very hard to get this to line up with the camera, but I guess you'll be able to see it better next week. I'm rating this a 3.5 out of 5, and the flavor is really good. I once again am not sure it needs to be a donut. But, so 3.5 out of 5. And the donut log is filled in. I'm sorry you can't see the donut log better. We'll get the overhead camera worked out. I am on the free plan, but it expires soon, and it's only 1 year, so I have to deal with it soon. Well, sometimes that you can use that as an excuse to see if you can get it to work. I mean, you're telling me I pay an incredible amount for Shopify, and I don't sell very much right now. Like, it used to make perfect sense. One, it was cheaper per month. I mean, it's still quite expensive, but it used to be like $29 a month, and now it's like $42 a month for Shopify. And I have to pay even if I'm not selling things. And in an average month, like, I am selling way more than 42, and it evens out and works out. But because I haven't had books for so long, I have much lower dollar items on the shop. And I'm not pushing the shop as much because I don't have the podcast anymore. All of that to say, I am still hanging on to Shopify, but I am a little annoyed that I'm paying for it. And then I also pay for ConvertKit every month. And I send so few emails, but moving your email list is so hard and so expensive. But because my email list is so large, which is like lots of people have way bigger email lists than me, but my email list is almost 10,000 people, and I've tried to clean it multiple times. And because it's so large, I pay quite a lot per month. And that is really silly when I send almost no emails on it. But moving your email system is just like a nightmare. And I don't want to lose that list because it has a lot of value. I get really good open rates when I do send emails because I don't abuse it and send a ton of emails. Yeah. David says that's why I dumped MailChimp. Yeah, I thought about moving it, but it's just like, I don't want to run my own email server, and moving your email list is like a huge pain in the ass because you have to like prove. And I still would have to pay. I'd still have to pay. So Geograph Concept says, I remember the badges. See? They added more badges, I will say. There's been a couple other ones. If you're struggling to find like a good alternative to Mint and you don't want to go back on YNAB, I did a live stream a couple months ago that was like top alternatives to Mint, and they were all cheaper than Mint. And that might be good to walk through just so that you could get like are all cheaper than YNAB, sorry, except YNAB. And so it could be like good to look through those and kind of see. There's also a lot of deals going on because Mint only recently closed. Do you see this kitten in the background who's thinking of things? Their dinner time was about 15 minutes ago, so they're really hustling here. Needs more cilantro and doesn't need to be a donut. Yeah, correct. Wait, who has pay per use, David? Because if someone has pay per use, I want to switch. Okay, I will say one of the reasons it's a pain in the ass for me to switch is because ConvertKit has like all of my automations built into it. So all of the list automations that I've done where it's like you want to get an opt-in for a free ebook or a free budgeting thing, I'd have to move all of those automations over to a new listserv, but often they like you have to prove it. But please tell me who has pay per use because that's what I wanted. Because I send out like 3 emails a year, but because I have like 8 or 9,000 people on my list, I pay so much money. We see the kitten and we love them. Well, she's now moved on in her life. Okay, y'all, I do have a meeting. It's not the 5:45 meeting, but I do have a meeting. Does anybody want to see my business budget? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I don't know how interesting it is. Although I'm happy to take your suggestions about how to save money when furnishing a house that's double or triple the amount of space that you currently live in. And 2, how to reduce business expenses when you run a website that gets like 250,000 hits a month and you have an email list of 9,000 people. I paid a one-time license fee for software and then configured it to use a bulk sending service. Oh, see, I don't want to run my own mail server, though. Whose servers are you running it through? Because that's the problem, is I've maintained my own mail server before, and I just have no interest in doing it again. So. Newbold1 wants to see the budget. It's really boring, but I can show you. So okay, all categories. This is old Purbin, my Purbin brand, which I haven't been doing. So this is the only money that I have currently saved. I actually haven't been putting the money in my SEP IRA yet because I was like, oh, am I gonna have to spend enough on books that I won't be able to? Because your SEP IRA is based on your percentage of your gross. And so I need to make sure that, anyway, I just need to make sure I've earned enough in the business to put that money in there. But it's set aside. Otherwise, I'm not paying myself. And I have $1,200 set aside for taxes for this year. That's for like upcoming. I don't have to pay quarterlies on this because it's a sole proprietorship and I have a day job. So because I have a W-2 job, I actually just set aside slightly more withholding at my day job. And because of that, I don't have to pay quarterlies. And then also because I'm married and Aaron also has a business, we have to pay quarterlies for Aaron, but we file a joint tax return. So it's a little complicated, but all that to say, I don't have to pay quarterlies, but I still set aside some money knowing that taxes will be coming. So, shipping is one of those things where it's only based on me actually sending stuff out. Shopify is up to $42.56, which I think is bananas. Okay, and so I currently have 2,120 and 26 in the books category. I have 1783 available to assign. However, we can just ignore credit cards. Those are just automatic. As long as I budget for stuff, I don't have to worry about it. So how much is Canva need to be? Interesting. I think I pay it annually. I don't know. I'll come back around to that one. Okay. So YNAB, that's like the amount, and then it's annual. Mailgun, I pay 78. Domains, I just put $5 in it. I have most of my domains. I pay for at random times in the year because I've ordered them at random times of the year. Phone, I just paid for phone, so it equals out to $20 a month. The convert kit's 49. Meals is actually for donuts, so I essentially spend between, depending on whether or not it's the winter and I'm getting 2 donuts or not, I spend between $15 and $30 a month on donuts, which is kind of a lot, but hey, it's fine. I make $200 a year off of YouTube. And it's like my total ad revenue for the year. Okay, I don't pay for Sonics anymore. Adobe Creative Cloud is one of those things. I'd really like to get rid of it. I have it through work, but we only have PCs through work, and I still use it to edit videos for work, and I have to use it for InDesign for the book, and I know how to use Photoshop, and I want to stop paying them because $54.99 is insane. But I don't know how to get out of it. And I've done I had like a discount for ages. I had like the student discount. I really went as long as I possibly could before I switched to the Creative Cloud subscription model. I don't know. Yeah, this is my average spending per month. I spend $390 a month on expenses, and that's almost all like software and hosting. I have a virtual private server for Oh My Dollar because we get enough traffic that I need that. So yeah. Amazon SES and SendGrid, not running a server. Interesting. I'm very curious. Is it hard to keep yourself off spam lists? Because that was my big problem, is it was just like a pain in the ass. 200 a year is no problem, especially if it nearly covers the donut purchases. Exactly. I make $200 a year spending time with you. Yeah, I mean, I'm clearly very bad at doing other, making edited videos, so 200 is like fairly close to what I make. I just got an $100 check from Google like 2 days ago, which represents like you have to hit 100 before it'll like cut you a check. So yeah, that's roughly how much I make, I think. Okay, let's put some money in. So my estimate was $186 a book, and then they told me to budget $1 per book for shipping, and it'll end up being less than that. So I think altogether it's like $4,500. So let's put 1,000 more in here, and then I will lend myself $2,000, and then let's fill up June. So fill up the underfunded categories. Oh yeah, the stickers goal, the reason this is so high, that's for like an order of like 900 stickers. So I have enough when the books get here, because I'll need to do a whole new order of those. Underfunded. I don't know why there's $70 in this conference professional fees. I feel like that was an accounting error at some point. So I'm going to take some money out of that. Don't have any contractors at the moment. Don't plan on it. Backups. Oh. Donuts. There we go. Genuinely, seeing that you added emojis to the budget categories makes me interested in YNAB again. Yeah, it's so helpful for me. I remember when they made emojis. So you might be able to tell, but if there's like a little the little return one, that actually equals that it's like a recurring expense. So like mail guns recurring, it's my phone, ConvertKit. So that essentially the emojis, in addition to being cute, are also useful. In my personal budget, the taco means it's like an essential expense. Okay. I think this is all fairly filled out. I just canceled Grammarly. I used to use it a lot, but I feel like it's been getting worse. So I just canceled it. Okay. Let's fill up as much as we can for July. Okay, 151 over. So let's just take all of the stuff I forgot to budget for out of there. And I think that's pretty good. I will have slightly more in this category. Let's put $35.99 in Shopify, and then as more money comes in, I'll fill in these other ones that happen here. So there we go. Pretty good. Okay. So my plan is that I will do, just so that I have the cash on hand in the business, because I don't keep a ton of money in the business. What I am going to do is I am going to schedule on June 1st a transfer from me. Actually, I'm gonna make a new category called loan from owner. This is just so that it's easier to keep track of during tax time. And it'll be an inflow of, I think, just to be safe, 1,500. That should be enough. And yeah, then I will put that money into the books category. Monarch is apparently $4 a month, so maybe switching will be a June goal. Also, if I recall, you did it like 2 summers ago for budgeting app games, and it really has improved since then. So hopefully it's the right thing for you. Have you tried GIMP? Oh, new bold one. I have been using GIMP on and off since the early 2000s. However, it is nothing like Photoshop. It also cannot work with, I don't use the Adobe Creative Suite just for Photoshop. I use the Adobe Creative Suite for InDesign, Illustrator, Adobe, not Final Cut. What's the other one? The film editing software, Adobe Express, Adobe fonts. In my book, I have quite a few Adobe fonts. And here's the thing. All of my Adobe Reader Pro, which is Adobe Acrobat Pro, which is what I use to like make ebooks and everything and like fillable forms. All of this to say, I know there's free and open source software that is not under a subscription model out there. However, it does not work with the kind of file formats I want that then I can send to the printers, unfortunately. No, new bold one. That you didn't step in it. I totally appreciate this because I've been using now Photoshop and other parts of the rapidly growing Adobe ecosystem since the 90s. And I am very, very dependent on the fact that I am good at using it. And it's very frustrating to me. And every year I try to revisit how I can like escape, because I really resisted the subscription model for so long. I would buy the Adobe software like once every couple years on a discount, and then I would like ride it out till the end possible before I needed to upgrade. And then they switched to a subscription model, and I pushed that out as long as I possibly could. And it makes me very upset. And for quite a long time, I was getting a student discount on it, like way past when I should have, because I still had a .edu account. Because up until very recently, alumni from my school still got a .edu email account. Then Adobe switched to this like student verification system. And I wasn't a student anymore. So then I threatened to quit. And if you threaten to quit, it'll like, you threaten to quit and then you say you don't, then they'll like cut you a deal. If you sign on for another year of the subscription, they'll like reduce the price by $20. Anyway, I've been through it, and it is very frustrating because it is industry standard. And then it is even more frustrating because we have it at work, but we have a 4-year-old version because it is the only thing that works with our very complicated media asset management software. And my work computer is a PC because of that same media asset management software. And that means I don't get any of the features that I need. Like, I use Adobe Audition to edit audio hours a day. Like, I spend hours a day in Adobe Audition. And it's just very frustrating. And I would like to be off the Adobe teat, but I don't know how. And I have used GIMP, and GIMP is fine at certain things, but unfortunately it is not a replacement for the Adobe suite, and it's very frustrating. I tried to switch to a different video editing software, but because I work in a broadcast environment, I have to use the type of software that other people use, and it's just very frustrating. InDesign is also my mortal enemy. I agree with that. Because I have to get my book to the printer this week, I have been rechecking everything in InDesign, and I have nightmares about it. Adobe stuff is so good. It isn't though, because Adobe stuff just has like the kitchen sink in it. Some of it is so good, but a lot of it is not even that good anymore. It's just what I'm used to, or what everyone else is using. I also agree their payment model sucks. Why can I not pay you annually and save money? I feel like I should be able to do that. It's like cable or mobile providers. Yeah, it's a very similar kind of strategy. They do have like a lighter thing if you only need Photoshop and Illustrator. You can like get like a slightly cheaper package, but unfortunately I need like all of this stuff. But yeah, it's totally the same thing where it's like, oh, you want ESPN and you want HBO? Well, you need to pay for 200 other channels that you don't want. I think there's like 52 pieces of software in the Creative Suite now. It's ridiculous. And it is just very frustrating that I can't just like buy a single thing that I want. So it's also like, remember how for a little while you could buy a single season of a show? Like in the early days of streaming, you could go and you could be like, I want to buy one season of Buffy. And now that's like weirdly hard to do again, because they'll be like, oh, you can access this, but only if you have Amazon Prime. And then also you add on the BBC extra special English package for 20. And it's just the same as the cable subscription model. And it's like the same frustration as how not all software used to be SaaS. And it is just very frustrating. So, tacos are like nachos, essential. Yeah, absolutely. You do have to configure some DNS settings, but David, I might ask you more about this. I really hesitate to make anything more hard on the administration, but I would like to pay per send. But I am very used to a lot of the features that ConvertKit has. Like I have dozens of automation set up in there. Every year I'm like, you could save yourself hundreds of dollars a year if you would figure out this mail thing. And now there are ads again. Absolutely. Okay, y'all, I do have to get to a meeting. So in the last 5 minutes, please tell me what you are looking forward to this week. Also, thank you all for coming. It's been lovely to be here with you. And I really appreciate it. And sorry that I went on an Adobe Creative Cloud rant for the last 5 minutes. David says, I'm an eternal student. Yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice. So tell me what you're looking forward to this week, which I guess will not be paying for Adobe. By the way, I set that light in the middle. Let me know if it's annoying you. I can change like the rate that it's at. It used to be the one that did color animations, but for some reason it burned out, the colors burned out on it. So I just set it on like the candlelight setting for now. I'll work on figuring that out. Although now that I'm streaming at 4:30 and it's the summer, the background lights barely show up until the last like couple minutes of the stream. So maybe I can solve that in the fall. What am I looking forward to this week? Well, it is the beginning of bike summer this week. So I am looking forward to that, even though I do have a lot of work that I have not done yet for it. So there's that. That is actually the meeting I'm going to right after this, which is the meeting for volunteer coordinating for bike summer. Also, my yoga studio is kicking off like a 100 days of yoga challenge, which is bananas. And I'm probably not going to complete it, but I am going to do my damnedest to get to 50 days. Because if you get to if you're enrolled in the challenge for every class, they donate like $1 to charity. But I worked it out, and like the number of people in the challenge, they could end up donating like up to $3,000 to particularly that one of the charities that I volunteer at. That's the Sexual Minority Youth Resource Center. So it's like a drop-in center for transgender and gay and lesbian youth. And I am really excited about that. And it's like a little bit of motivation to try to go to yoga. So I'm excited about that. It starts June 1st. But I am very stressed about how much stuff I have to do. Hello. Are you trying to remind me that it's dinner time? It is dinner time for these princesses. Oh, also, I got a very early birthday present from Erin this weekend. And it's one of those presents that's like also a present for Erin. But it's great because I'm at the age where getting household appliances as a present is very exciting. I got my first air fryer, which I've never had before, and I already love it. I only got it on Saturday, and it is amazing for making tofu and like crispy veggies. I am someone who roasts a lot of stuff in the oven, and the air fryer is like significantly faster. And the one we got like kind of like folds up. I don't know. I was always worried about getting another appliance, but this weekend, instead of building IKEA furniture or cleaning family homes, I'm going to stay home and hopefully not do any family projects. And hopefully nothing will explode. I mean, that seems like that seems like a very good goal. It seems like you've been doing an awful lot of that lately. I got my motorbike going yesterday, so I'm looking forward to going on your first ride of the year. Oh, that's great. I hope that helps you get out more, because I know that's been a goal of yours, is like getting out and about more. So I feel like getting the motorbike running will help with that. Just be safe, please. I foresee potatoes. Actually, I haven't even looked into the potatoes in the air fryer. I'll do some looking. I'm not a heavy potato eater, but I do love a good potato when it is made well. And I feel like I can make it easily in the air fryer. Ooh, someone suggested I go to Portland for some indie webbing. This weekend or like the whole summer? Is it the Ninja? Yes, it is the Ninja. It's also a dehydrator, which is, I think, the main reason Erin wanted to get it. One, Erin is suddenly very excited about making dehydrated things, which I'm on board with. And then, ow, you are so sharp in the back. Our CSA also starts up soon, and I feel like it's going to be a good way to use up like a ton of squash. Which is what ends up happening towards the end of the summer with the CSA in Portland, is that we just end up with like way too many different types of squash, and we run out of ideas of how to make them. And I feel like the air fryer is going to help a little bit. I am getting dinged for this meeting, so every time I'm like air fryer, my roommate is like, it's just a convection oven. It is very similar to a convection oven. We were trying to figure out like what the difference is. I will say thus far, the thing that's really impressed me about it compared to like, I haven't had a convection oven since like, other than in commercial settings, I haven't had one. We had like a little mini baby convection oven in like the early, the early 2000s, I think, in my family home. And it was cool, but the air fryer heats up so fast. They even warn you, like in the instructions, that you need to have everything prepped before you start setting it to preheat, because it will start cooking, like counting down the second it heats up, and you won't have time. And it is absolutely true. Like, you need to have everything out of the plate before you even hit it to start like heating up, because the preheat is like instantaneous. And I will also say, like, to get good crispy baked tofu in the oven, which I don't have a convection setting, I could not afford like a household convection oven, so the air fryer is like a good alternative to it, even if it is maybe just a little countertop convection oven. Anyway, I was really skeptical but curious, and I'm very happy about it already. I had the small folding Ninja. It didn't last as much as I loved it. This one is not that small. I don't know if it's bigger than the one you had or not. It feels big, but it does fold. I bought a compost bin so I can now do wet compost. Very excited about that. And also outside. Oh, nice. That's exciting. Zucchini is a sauce delivery system. I do agree with that. Okay. Smaller and heats faster. Yeah, that's the big thing. Okay. They are smaller and use less energy. Plus, it won't heat up the kitchen as much. It is not heated up the kitchen at all, which is amazing compared to the oven, because we have a small oven because we live in like this tiny little loft. But yeah, it's pretty much the right size. Although I could see if I was doing batch cooking for 2 people, it would maybe be a little small because I can only like really fit like 1.5 like blocks of tofu on there, but it would work well for a single person. Okay, well, everybody have fun with their motorbikes and their compost, and they're not doing family activities. Thank you so much for coming this week. It's been really lovely. I hope that you found this informational or entertaining, something of the above. And even if you don't contribute financially, if you go and join for $0 a month on the Personal Finance Society at omydollar.com/support, you will get notifications about when the live streams come out. I send them to everyone, even if they're not a paying member. Paying obviously helps support the community work that I do, but no obligation. This is just because YouTube's very unreliable for this. And until next week, stay safe, stay hydrated, pet a cat if you have one available, and I will see you all soon. Bye.